This week, a philanthropic pig shows its gratitude to its rescuers. A man's attempts to obtain a marriage license are met with a 500 internal server error. And if it weighs as much as a duck with nipple tassels and dollar bills hanging out of its G-string, it's a sex witch. Burn it. We have a dream, we have an agenda, and we clearly just want to watch the world burn in a blazing ball of anarcho-nerd culture. It's Lose a Turn. Welcome to it. Greetings and salutations. I'm your host, Chuck Mullins, and joining me today, my daring darlings, Jack Mullins. You've been like a brother to me. Stop it.
I wish I could.
Matt Herring, you're like the brother I never had. Keep doing what you're doing.
That is so sweet.
Jordan Straub, you're like an anal polyp that I've never popped. I hate you. Thanks for joining.
Never popped me.
That's true. I wish I could quit you.
I just like the noise when I take a seat.
Of you three, you're the only reason I need a prescription pillow. So, gents,
that's true
yes,
though in real life too.
It is. We now have the New Zealand sex witch to contend with in our hall of heroes and villains. This woman who was a stripper has decided that sex clubs and strip clubs have lost their love. I looked back onto ancient times. There were once temples where men would seek counsel and healing from erotic dancers. Modern strip clubs are a power play. Men objectify women, but women objectify them with their wallets. It's no longer a place of love, and there's not a lot of respect on either side of the sexes. I decided to turn to older roots and bring on an awakening. She identifies herself as a sex witch who helps couples find love again. She herself is in a heterosexual relationship, but she can describe herself as pansexual and ecosexual, which is about being turned on by the elements. She can get off to gusts of wind and wants to use her spells to teach other people how to also get off by the wind.
Two things.
Mm-hmm.
Sex witch makes me think, like, when you say it, I'm like, is it a ham and turkey? Or, like, that's all I was thinking the whole time. I'm like, that sounds like a good fucking meal.
This is how Jordan gets labeled a misogynist.
No, I said misogynist thing. He said sex witch. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah. Connection. But, like, the other thing is, like, getting off to the wind. Like, I just imagine her, like, she was actually a whore this whole time. Like a prostitute. So it's just a mess down there. Like, it's like, it looks like a firecracker went off between her legs. And she just stands in the wind. And just, like, you just see, flap, 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 flap. Like,
Jesus.
You said it, my brain made these images, and you're to blame.
Yeah, I think from here on out we're going to be a Teletubby podcast and just stick with those nice images.
Those were, Teletubbies said some pretty messed up stuff.
Flapping in the wind. I mean, nothing wrong with that. It's an ecosexual.
It can mean surrendering to pleasure as the wind is blowing on your skin. Oh, Jesus.
So, when did, according to her, when did love leave the strip club? I seem to remember, like, my formative high school years being shaped by T.I. telling me that you can easily fall in love with the stripper.
I think the day in question is when they decided outright there's no sex in the champagne room. That's when love left the strip club.
The day that the love died is totally a song. It's got to be something.
Yeah.
If not,
we're gonna make it a new hit
single.
single.
Original on its way. I haven't written
easy payments of $14.95. You can get the new Lose a Turn Sings the Hits.
Guys, that's
tracks is No Love in the Strip Club, and
I just had a great idea for a Patreon perk.
Yeah.
You mean a bad idea?
There's no musicians in this podcast, so
come.
Moving
what?
on,
Yeah,
we have
you said there's
something.
no musicians. I was like,
Oh yeah, right. Equifax breach, man. Like, let's
Oh,
just
yeah.
get this out of the way because it's just huge. It just happened, or at least it was just announced, and then we can move on with the funny. But this Equifax breach, are y'all read up on it? Do you know kind of?
I am not. Actually,
I've checked. Mine was mine's at risk.
So I just want to go ahead and tell everyone what I told Chuck when you first mentioned it. Yeah, I've heard about it. However, every time I've seen it, it's been one of those problems that's important enough that I can't deal with it right now.
Yeah. So, yeah. It's like, oh, I'll file this away for next week. No. So, Equifax, one of the main 3 reporting agencies when it comes to credit and stuff like that, had a huge data breach, which apparently happened in, like, July 29th, I think. If
No.
What?
Went from May till July 29th. It went that long. 2 months.
Jesus.
Wow. Okay. So, and naturally, 3 of the chief officers started selling stock just a couple days after the event occurred. So they're being investigated for insider trading. But allegedly, what are the numbers we're dealing with here? It was like 143 million. Yep, 143 million consumers' personal information has been leaked. This is everything from social security numbers, addresses, all your information, the things that you don't want the world to know.
Yeah, it literally gives them more than enough information to make a fake ID.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like it's insane.
So social security numbers are included in this breach.
Yeah,
yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Social security number,
Jesus.
address, driver's license number, everything like that. Like,
penis size. Shit, worst of all.
Credit history, living history. So, like, most of these security questions you'd be asked to file a fraud report.
Yeah, well,
are going to be released in this as well.
Yeah, and it's the other thing is too. It's like I've talked to people about it, and they're like, "Oh, well, I've never like gotten on a site that checks my credit or anything like that." It's like if you never check your credit, it still doesn't matter because you still have a credit history. Even if you have no credit history, you got a credit history. Like,
right.
Yes.
And so, 143 million.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like it's pretty much every adult in America.
Well, that's the other thing. This warning should go out to not only to U.S. listeners, but also to Canadian and Mexican listeners.
Oh, great.
Canada and
Okay.
Mexico was also affected by this. Why? I don't know. I didn't know Equifax reached out of the U.S., but it does. So.
I didn't know that either. So yeah, that's also a really bad situation to friggin' be in.
Yeah.
So I read earlier, and unfortunately, I'm not finding the article right now, but they hired this security company because a lot of companies, whenever there is a breach or something like this, they go outsource their, the investigation and forensics and response to a third-party company that specializes in incident response. And allegedly, and for the listeners at home, excuse me, I am sick as shit. I've got all the cough syrup, and I'm rocking it like hot toddies all day. Unfortunately, it's already a day off work, so I don't get the luxury of taking an extra. But so bear with me here if I'm a little sniffleless. And I think Jack and I both got sick at the same time. It's because we're brothers. That's just how it happens. So the thing
I seem to remember a story about this.
Oh God, we will not go.
That's
into
an
that.
unreleased episode, guys. I'm sorry.
But so they hired a third-party company, and I believe the name of the company was like Iridian, to deal with incident response. Now, first off, Equifax customers or anyone concerned was urged to log in and provide your social security number and your last name to see if you were impacted or not. Now, people who went to the site to do this said that they had different results when doing it from their desktop computers, their laptops, and mobile devices.
Mm-hmm.
They can log in on their desktop and it'll say, no, you're not affected. Then they go to their laptop and do it, says, yep, you're affected. And then, on their mobile phone, ask again, drink Coke, play again. So, first off, they're fucking dropping the ball there. Secondly, and I wish I could find the article on this, and if I do, I'll bring it up. But it was a kind of a security net article that was stating that the site that this company put up in response, that Iridian put up in response to the Equifax breach, was like a WordPress site. in which they disabled the admin user but only had one user enabled, and it was the company name Iridian, and that people were easily able to make public queries to the database to reveal the list of users. So no point in disabling admin if you can still get a list of who the fucking users are. And this is meant to be the company doing security forensics and response to one of the biggest breaches in America, and they can't even like WordPress correct. So, and another thing I read on this is that they, at one point, I think they've changed the wording on the site now, so it may not be the case, but Equifax said that, you know, if you sign up right now, you can get 1 free year of credit reporting without having to pay anything or it affecting your credit.
You just turned into a robot, Chuck.
It's fine. I'm sure my local recording will stick through.
Yeah.
The two caveats being that by doing this, you also waive your right to join a class action lawsuit against Equifax.
Yeah.
And 2, you will be charged for services like once the year's over, and that's just kind of like another twist of the fucking knife.
Yeah. So the charging is basically if you sign up, you find out you're hit, you get put on a list to be able to join an Equifax protection thing that basically like constantly looks for any fraudulent things with your identity or credit, and they and they're like the first year is free, and like but it automatically subscribes you to the next year.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
Okay.
Yeah, I hate that thing. I don't know why growing up I was always the worst at canceling free shit, so I probably had like 20 different accounts I'd signed up for and I was too lazy to cancel. I'm the worst.
You and I going through the same thing, Chuck, of home purchasing. Finding out about this stuff is terrifying, right?
Oh, absolutely, man. This is it's a huge friggin' deal. It changes everything.
So how does one actually check to make sure they're not at risk? I mean, since you said the one way that they were doing it seemed to be completely different answers every time you tried it.
I mean, you can Google if you just Google Equifax right now, one of the first like top 5 out of 10 results are going to be see if you were affected, because this is such a huge deal. So like you'll fall into that.
My rule of thumb is that if you have applied for a car loan or a credit card in the past, let's say 10 years, you're probably affected.
Yeah. And furthermore, you also have to be careful. I know I said just Google it, but that's a real bad fucking idea, because people are already registering Equihacks and like 1,000 other fake domain names, and there's phishing sites everywhere, because if you have to provide your social security and last name, you're just giving the shit out for free. Yeah. So just be smart and practice due diligence. Make sure that you're checking your SSL certificates whenever you're about to put in any of this information, and I don't know, maybe just ignore it and cry.
I'm gonna probably ignore it and cry for now.
Yeah, there's like really, not much else you can do. Just assume that you've been exploited. That's the safest way to do it, is assume you've been exploited. Freeze any major accounts that you may have. If you have extra accounts holding on to assets, freeze them temporarily. And you can do this. You can request a security freeze. Yeah. And it doesn't look bad on you to say something like that. So, and
you can also just put a fraud alert on your credit. So go to like Experian and TransUnion and go ahead and file a fraud alert. Those are normally free if you have reasonable reason.
In which America has.
Yes.
All of
and basically all that does is, I mean, you'd still want to monitor things, but you should get a call anytime that someone opens credit or tries to open credit in your name. They should call whatever number they have on file based on your background history. And it is the best way to handle it. I've done it a number of times in my life just because of different identity theft situations. And I mean, the only inconvenience to you after doing that is if you do apply for a credit card, then you're going to have to go through an extended process to get approved for any credit extended to you.
True. Yeah, they'll have to check your DNA and scrub you down and blah, blah, blah. So it sucks for everyone. Good luck if you were affected. But moving on to something perhaps a little bit...
I'm going to go ahead and give you a thumbs up because I have no idea what you said. Are we moving on, Chuck?
Yes, we are.
Awesome.
Sorry, we're
There we
having
go. Oh,
some
shite.
connection issues, it would seem. But
Yeah.
So Star Wars and Marvel movies. You can currently go on Netflix and enjoy many of the current oeuvre. Unfortunately, that is going to change. Disney has announced officially that it's creating its own streaming service, and with that, all the Marvel
Again?
properties, Star Wars, Disney films, all those.
Yeah.
And Netflix had that, real solid contract with them, and that was keeping Netflix in the game. But
No more Frozen.
no more Frozen.
I
You
can't
You have to
let
it go. You have to
I
let it
can't.
go. You
I
have to let it
can't.
go.
Oh my god.
I want to fuck
We all
a
went for the
snowman.
easy joke.
I want to fuck a snowman.
So didn't Disney do this before? And you know what? I don't remember the story exactly, so I'm just take whatever you hear from this point on as fiction. They did this before in 2011, 2012. I think it was called like Disney Vaults or something along those lines. And there were just major issues with it.
Disney Vaults.
Does anyone else-
The children lost in?
I don't recall it.
Well, actually, the Disney Vault is a very specific entity that does exist, in which, like, certain properties of theirs are locked in the vault, which they can't be touched, remastered, or reissued, or re-released for a period of time, and then they'll open the vaults. So I don't know if that's why you think the name could have been Vaults, or they could have used it in multiple ways, or it was you having a night scare of a vampiric Walt Disney coming to you
No,
in
that's
the
what I
night
was
saying,
gonna say.
I'm Vault Disney.
It just makes me think there's like they just have a shit ton of like DVDs that never sold stacked up around Walt Disney's frozen body.
It's a like a urn. No, not an urn.
We'll bring him
a
back
cairn.
when the Jews must be exterminated.
I think it was called Disney Movies Online.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But this time they're dead serious. I mean, they've announced straight up in 2019 they're launching the Disney streaming service, and it's not just going to be Disney-owned films, but also like TV programming and then new
So,
exclusive series and shit to that
How
streaming service.
like here's a good question. How much do you want? Like how much should we guess that the person who probably like 10 years ago bought the domain, like Disney whatever it's gonna be named, like someone probably bought the name they fucking want. And he's
Yeah.
probably gonna get paid out the fucking ass for it.
That's true. I mean, but that's
Yeah.
the way it's been since like 1993. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
when domain hunting started becoming a thing. Like,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
gonna buy MTV.com and make $1 million. Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All those 3-letter domains.
I bought MTV5.com. I'm still waiting.
I bought ESPN the Ocho, and it was only valuable for one day. So this brings up the fact that, I mean, I know like is it CBS that's doing? I should know this. I'm feeling like a bad nerd. CBS is doing the new Star Trek Discovery series, and that's exclusive to their streaming service. And everyone who was in the cable channel game is now kind of creating their own thing. HBO and Showtime has been doing it forever. So it's getting to a point where we liked the idea of cable television because it gave us all these channels in one nice bundle. And then we started, diverting
We want
away
the
from
a la
that, going with Netflix and Hulu, because that was fantastic. But now that everyone's taking their properties back, you're finding a barren wasteland when you log into Netflix and shit like that. So you have to pay for 300 subscription services. So we went from paying $8.99 a month to now we're going to end up paying more than cable bills ever. I know that previously we discussed, Jordan, you brought up Verve.co,
Yes.
I believe,
Yeah.
which allegedly, in its
bundle.
inception, is a bundle service where you can get access to several of these packages all in one go. So you can get like Funimation and Crunchyroll and CISO properties, because CISO I think is now officially under, but all those shows seem to have been transported over to VRV.co.
Yeah. Yeah.
What does this mean, guys? I mean, where are we heading? We're definitely getting away from cable providers. That's
The
a thing of
internet
the
cable.
past.
That's all.
Yeah.
Putting them
All right,
into
so-
one.
My interpretation of this is all good still. It puts us in a situation where the only people who are punished are the ones who fail at canceling their subscription services, which I imagine is everyone here.
Guilty.
However, like so you can still just say, look, I've got 20 hours of free time this month to use for TV or leisure, so let me just get Netflix for August and watch the new House of Cards season. Cancel that at the end of the month, move to Hulu for something else the next month. So, like, you really don't have to... Where you don't have the same problem with cable where you've signed a contract and sold your soul to make sure you're paying $90 a month for
Everything
75 channels and you're only going to watch 2 of them.
That's true. That is true. I mean, I guess that means that they're going to meet the response of people who are doing that with sign up for a year and get...
I don't think they'll ever go contract. I bet what they'll do.
No, I don't think contract, but probably like incentives, like hey, pay
well,
now and save $5 a month for a year.
Or I bet it's like, hey, if you sign up for this many months at this many time, you get this discounted price. If you cancel it early, you get back charged the increased price for those past months or something like that.
Oh yeah, and you get the Netflix police to come over and shove batons up your ass.
Yeah.
You gotta read your end user license agreements always.
No, I think it's all just gonna go full circle. I have a feeling it's gonna all turn into bundling packages like Verve, and then it's I feel like we're gonna get more of those, and then then all of a sudden, in the year 2029, there's gonna be some guy coming knocking on your door. Did you know you can watch these things that you watch on your clickety-clackety computer on your TV with your whole family for $89 a month? You get all this shit.
So you started off like a door-to-door out-of-work Bane in a 1950s radio ad, and then you started going... Yeah, then you went coal miner there. I'm confused.
There's gold in them there hills and cable.
So, what was it called again? Verve.co or
vrv.co. So we're assuming the pronunciation's Verve.
And how much was that a month again?
I made it.
Yeah, I don't have that information on hand. I was just bringing it up because we talked about it in the past. I think it's like 10 or something.
I would guess as long as there's no way a monopoly can form, then
that's the other thing.
we're going to have reasonable prices.
Yeah, you also get a free copy of Monopoly.
Throw it out the fucking window because that board game doesn't deserve to ever be played again.
I know, it's like the worst, right? The worst game.
But
I've never completed a Monopoly game. I don't
think I have
that's
either.
on my bucket list. I need that to happen.
Yeah,
I just want to play one more
play
time.
It together. It'll get right on your bucket list real quick. So we'll open it up. We'll give everybody the money, and I'll shoot you in the face.
Right.
You don't understand the hates.
All right.
Yeah, it really is like the worst game to ever sit down through. Also, we do have a new movie coming out with Benedict Cumberbatch playing Thomas Edison in The Current Wars.
Benadryl Cumbersnatch?
Yes, that's exactly right. Benadryl Cumbersnatch is coming at you again, this time live and setting elephants on fire. So, I don't know if you guys had a chance to read up on this or see a trailer. A gentleman by the name of Nicholas Hoult, who you may be familiar with, will be playing Nikola Tesla.
Cage. I felt it.
Oh, God, yeah, Nick Cage should play Tesla. Never mind, we're going to wait out till we get that film.
Like, you said Nicholas, I'm like, it's coming.
So, The Current Wars is, of course, kind of a film showing all the good things Edison did. And it's actually kind of a Edison sympathizer film, since in the last decade there's been this whole like, wait, Tesla's been fucked this whole time. Like, he was the true hero in this story. Yeah. So now people believe that maybe we were overcompensating and over-angelizing him, and maybe Edison was a good guy. So,
well, he set those elephants on fire.
He came in with the direct current vibrator. Plug it into the wall.
Do y'all want to make
Ozzy Goldbottom back to talk about sex toys?
Do y'all want to make this podcast a target on our launch episode?
Are you trying to say that Thomas Edison was the first sex witch?
Well, no, I just really wanted to say
I think that was a no.
Plugs them in their holes.
Jesus. Current Wars should be coming out sometime after this recording. Oh, actually, this year, November 24th, coming up real soon. I don't know why I hadn't heard about it until this last week, so I should probably watch some more TV. Um,
I feel like
And-
someone's gonna show up there and be like, "Current wars. This isn't current."
so
Fucking
speaking
liars.
of current and sex witches, we have a unfortunate circumstance happening in Alabama in which a man who was legally married in New Mexico is filing to get his marriage license in Alabama, and the courts have outright denied him. In protest to this, he has pretty much started a class action lawsuit. Got a bunch of people together to fight for his right to receive
To
his
party.
to party with his computer. He is outright saying that the courts are being awful by changing the laws that are in place to allow for this kind of marriage or that kind of marriage, but denying him his right and accepting his existing marriage to his computer.
So-
my computer's staring at me now. Feeling
It's winking
Like,
with its hard drive light every like
Yeah.
over here.
Go
Hey,
read what. Hey, like you go look up what that light means. I
hey,
want
Google
that
sex switch. Oh yeah, I want that dick. Google sex switch. Come on. I'm an ecosexual too.
So, why does Alabama got to be like this? I mean,
I know.
seriously.
What's
just
up, Al?
stopped
Fucking
Bama.
bastard.
Damn it, Al! Let me fuck my computer. Fuck.
That is-
There's a
I
thread
mean,
in there
for the
somewhere.
record, I'm okay with this. Like, I'll go on record and say it. If that's what he wants to do, if he's okay with that and he's an informed adult making his decisions, then go for it.
Here's the thing.
Whatever.
Here's why it's being denied. I kind of agree with you, Matt. But at the end of it, like if you just keep allowing like someone marrying his computer or some weird shit like that happening, aren't you turning like what most people that have done like a marriage is a big step in a lot of people's life and something they cherish and enjoy? Are you letting people make a mockery of it? Like that's the whole thing. And I know I sound like the guys that were like, "Them gays can't get married because I love my white woman." And you're making us feel like trash, but it's I don't know. I get it. Like,
I think I see what you're saying, and I kind of agree with that as well.
Yeah.
I mean, like at one point, at least there's two
There's gotta- you have
humans.
to draw a line.
There's
Yeah.
a line to be
Draw a
drawn.
line.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Right.
I mean, it does kind of laugh in the face of sanctity of marriage if you're trying. Dude.
However, I posit this: what relationship is more binary than one with your own computer? I
God
mean, I
damn it.
think this very much defines.
That was almost close to
Hey.
dad level joke, man.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
That
well,
was
if
our
he
show.
gave birth to a laptop, yeah.
I guess we're not gonna have an episode 2 after that line.
I apologize. You're good, Al. Do what you're gonna do. No, I agree with everything you guys are saying. Like, it's questionable. It's like, well, yeah, I mean, people should have the freedom to do this or that, and denying someone is, could be deemed as some sort of slight in this overly PC world we're in right now. PC. Oh my god, I almost went there.
God damn it.
But there does need to be a line, because not only is a marriage a religious ceremony in many cases, it is like not only a legally binding thing. In the world of finance, it means a whole fucking lot too. Our
Sure.
laws and several previous court cases have all utilized the previously existing definition of marriage to determine the
Right,
outcomes of
right.
various situations or eligibility for certain situations. So I'm no longer a single man because I married my computer. You can't put a ring on it.
Well,
Right.
if you want
can't.
it, you should.
You can't. Yeah, you should have. You should have put a ring on. I mean, I guess you could buy a computer that has like the coolant.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't know. You can install a sex drive, I'm sure, but what I'm saying is that you can't procreate
God
with it even.
Well, you could always add like a flashlight to it, maybe. I mean,
Yeah.
just build a whole custom case.
Hydraulic powered flashlight.
It connects directly into
Okay,
the sex
so-
drive.
I mean, that sounds like it's a problem for the legislature. So, so
I think
he gets married. Whatever. There's dependents or however they want to handle that with taxes. I don't care. That's a problem for legislatures. We let them do it, figure it out on the back end.
Okay, then on a back end, I submit there's levels of marriage, and we'll start with 2. Sorry, I've got a pop up.
Before you get into this, I have to ask the real question because it's not being asked. When they get in the bed, does he try to flirt by going "dot rar"?
Okay, well played. Welcome to Dadcast, where we just pun off.
The only people who are going to like this episode is Shelby and Gallagher.
Yeah,
that's true. Hi guys. I think that we just need to have 2 different levels of marriage, where if a man and a man, man and a woman and a woman, whatever, go to court, say, we've been living together, we intend to be married, we love each other, we do our vows, we have our ceremony, you get the certificate, and all the financial and legal responsibilities that come with that marriage. Case B, when a man comes in with his goat or a computer, or when a monkey comes in with his woman that he has banged over the head with a brick and says he wants to get married, we give them a certificate drawn in crayon and in a little plastic frame, or mount an Etch-a-Sketch or something that says congrats, you're married. Like little kids' plastic cell phones. You get to pretend it's real. Go ahead, do that thing. Yay. Just give them their cookie and move them out the door.
Okay, so that's a fair point. It's worth considering, but I do feel like that's already taken care of with the precondition I said earlier, which is as long as he's an informed adult, she is an informed adult. So both parties have to be an informed adult with the capability for making decisions.
So are you suggesting that I can't marry my computer unless it's a Pentium 2?
Well, can your computer make decisions? Can it?
It can make decisions, I mean...
Or did the programmer make decisions for it?
Well, we're all just artificial intelligence living a simulation, so the question I posit to you is who made this decision.
Then why can't I marry anything? I mean... Did you just become a Wiccan?
$100
a cyber Wiccan?
That makes, when Chuck was saying men and men, women, whatever sexes he said very quickly all together into a remix of Cotton Eye Joe, because that is
How'd you know? That's how I get through each one of these terrible episodes. I've got Cotton Eye Joe just fucking blasting his headphones. I can't even hear y'all.
If you watch closely, you can see his eye twitch every now and then.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on, because we are kind of dragging on here. Thailand has introduced smart vests to turn their stray dogs into a police force.
What?
Thailand has created these animal vests to go on dogs that have security cameras, geolocation,
weird.
sound detection and stuff like that, because Thailand has had a massive stray dog problem for ages. And this company decided, what if we actually had these dogs patrolling the street? Just equip them with a smart vest that can get video footage of the things happening in the middle of the night and sounds and stuff. I mean, this is also it's a 2-pronged plan. Also, there's a bunch of assholes that just blow off steam by killing stray dogs, since there's so many of them. So this is also meant to kind of stop that,
guys,
deter that whole thing. Oh yeah. Sorry, guys. Oh god, he's giving me that eye. I don't want to go to Thailand. But yeah, so they're investing in God, vest. Oh god, if I pun again, I'm gonna kill myself. So it's it's legitimately a vest they're going to start strapping on to tons of stray dogs to have them transmit live things whenever the dog barks. The moment the dog barks, it'll be sent to mobile applications, computer applications, and people can allegedly tap into that feed as well.
Wait, so this is a public feed too?
Well, I didn't read that the first time until here it says that you can see it via mobile app or computer application. So I'm wondering, why are they announcing that it's... There could be. Yeah, there could be maybe there's a public feed for when a dog barks. That's
Bark
crazy.
game.
I don't know. I don't have enough
Okay,
details
so-
on what I've read so far.
Let's take a vote. Is this genius or creepy?
A and B.
I was trying
A
to
and B.
decide. It's really hard to decide that.
I'm
I mean-
unsettled by it. I really am. But
I'm going with genius because B, you can go to Thailand to fuck a 4-year-old boy in the butt.
Well,
I don't think that's absolutely true, but
all right. I know things keep on playing out in my head weird. It's because
Jordan's
Well, they
having a
always
different
have-
episode than we are.
I am. Because like you're telling me this story, and I came out I have this heartbreaking movie going on in my head now. Like there's a drug dealer in Thailand. He's this stray dog that hangs outside of his drug warehouse. Comes in, sits down, and the dog comes up to him. He pets him like he always does. And he looks the dog in the eye and sees the dog. And the dog's wearing the vest, and he's like, "Man, you are just the cutest dog ever. You know what? Like that little vest on you. You've made me decide that today, because of you, I'm going to change my life around. I'm done with drugs. I'm burning this whole place down, and I'm investing all my money to help orphanages." And then the dog barks because it's excited.
And they bust him with arson, jail him
And then they-
forever.
it's like, heroin bud or something. I don't know what the movie would be called, but
Heroin Bud. I mean, Bud is already there. You can't work with Bud. Come on.
I think we just found
Fuck that.
a
Blood
show
Bud.
title.
yeah.
Bud Bud.
It is Lose a Turn. It's got to have heroin.
Oh yeah, or meth. Heroin.
But no,
Bud.
I
There
mean,
we
I don't
go.
know. It's almost good. Like, I guess but it seems like it's gonna make them not want to take care of the just stray dog problem they have.
Well,
Like-
that's the other thing I was
There's
gonna
nothing
bring
that-
up. Is
they
like
wouldn't
you
be
would
able to
think
come up with anything else.
I feel like all the money they invested. God damn it.
Get doggy
They're
cop.
putting
Okay, so
into the
let's
mess.
take this. Let's take this to an extreme. Someone finds one of those stray dogs. They figure out the camera ID. They train that stray dog to run up to women and get upskirt shots. Is that doable? I mean, I
don't know.
think it's definitely an extreme case, but who
Someone
is
could have
then
done that
liable?
already with a GoPro and a monkey.
Sure.
I mean,
But now someone has provided the infrastructure to make this publicly broadcasted. So
Well, I don't know
who
about that
becomes
for a
liable
fact.
for that?
I don't know if it's if it's a public stream, and yeah, there's always a chance for it to be easily hackable, so you can love it. If someone actually starts taking care of all the stray dogs on the street and amassing an army, fuck it, at least the streets are clean of stray dogs. Now we just have a psychopath in Thailand with an army of camera-seeking, upskirt dogs, and that's next year's problem.
And in Thailand though, you may not want to train a dog to do that. You might get a lot of surprises there.
That's true.
Right?
Chances are you never know what you're gonna.
There's
It's
gonna be the guy that does that, Matt. First time his dog goes out, he's like, never again.
Yeah, he's gonna poke his own eyes out. Like, this was the worst idea ever. I spent $1,000 and trained this dog for 6 months, and now all I see is dicks.
This is. I'm going to take it a different direction. This is how we find out that lizard people are real.
That's true.
Yes.
Wait, what do you mean? Find out they're real? No.
All the dogs were actually owned at one point by loving families, but they were all eaten by lizard people. So now the dogs are strays. So this is the chance for the dogs to come back against the lizard army of Thailand. Speaking
Went
of
somewhere
lizards,
else with
no,
that,
just
but
kidding. Not not Thailand and not lizards, but a cute little group of piglets. A couple months ago, a woman called firefighters because a fire broke out on her farm, and these firefighters came in, did their job, did it well, did it efficiently, and rescued 18 little piglets and 2 sow from this raging fire.
Started the fire.
It was a stray pig who missed his family. No, so it was just a really cute story about these firefighters who came in were able
About
to
bacon?
save.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Well, the pigs, being philanthropists, wanted to say thanks for saving our bacon. Ha. God, I
You
did it
said you'd
again.
kill
Y'all are gonna
yourself.
have to kill me. Yeah, okay.
You
Drinking
promised.
Lysol. You promised. Pinky swears. So, to say thank you, the woman who owned the farm then brought sausages and bacon to the firefighters. And it was the pigs that they saved.
That'd be great if it was.
It was.
Was it are you serious?
Yep.
How many years later?
Not years. It seems it was
What?
a period of months.
They were piglets, though.
Thank you for saving them.
That's worthless.
Here
You
they
know, that piece of bacon's like an
this
inch.
is tiny bitch bacon. What the fuck's wrong
Is
with
she
you?
the just this undercover vegan? Like, I will get my hands dirty to convert all the people possible.
Oh,
Like,
jeez.
There,
The real question
there
is,
may
did they
be
not
no better
actually
way.
save it and they just came out baked? And she was right here.
I mean, she says, I gave the animals the best quality of life I could ever give them until it came time to go to slaughter, and they are part of the food chain. In which the firefighters stated the sausages tasted fantastic.
And as
They
cried
held
into
a
biscuits.
barbecue to grill all the pork. They had an event.
This is amazing.
All right,
So-
next time one of my family members dies, that's how I'm going. I'm sending them off. Just cooking them up.
All right, we're gonna have barbecue in
Was
your
this
honor.
in Bama again?
Oh Jesus! Is this Al? Come on, Al. Have some decency. No, actually, this is in England. It's Wiltshire,
Whoa.
England.
Okay.
They love their
Is it
sausages.
That's honestly one of the most fucked up stories I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Kind of amazing,
well,
if you ask
nothing
me.
I can do about it. Guys, I think we're running a little bit long here, so I propose we take a quick trip around the world. Here's all the fucked up things that I've read about this week that you now have to deal with. Dubai now has robot police patrolling the streets. Japan has introduced naked school, so old men can sit together in a bath and learn about stray cat problems, the history of comedy, and how to sew dicks together. I don't know. Naked school. Go to Japan. We take a trip over to Germany, in which a new Danish Pilsner is being brewed. They collected 50,000 gallons of urine from a music festival and are using it to grow barley and malt for
when
their
you say
Pilsner.
Yeah.
That's the name.
Like, are you making another pun?
No.
Like
That's
Pilsner?
the name. It's Pilsner.
Is it
Google
supposed to be like
So
it
they
and
made a
cry.
pun.
Yep.
They made.
a play off of Pilsner, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Kenya's last rhino is now on Tinder in an effort to procreate before he dies, and also a fundraising technique. Chinese officials, 2 of them have been fired for using witchcraft and magic. French now have oysters in vending machines. I'd hate to be the guy who has to clean up after a power outage. Mexico decides to make avocados even more fucking expensive by making 3 tons of guacamole. And eggs go bad in Europe. However, the Brotherhood of the Knights of the Giant Omelette remain unafeared and will make a 10,000 egg omelet to feed to their people. Populace still exists, so I'm not sure if anyone's dead from that fucked up thing yet. That's news around the world.
I do have a very quick Craigslist here.
Alrighty. You don't have to
Before
rapid
that-
fire through anything else. We've
Okay. Well, okay.
Don't
Go
rapid
ahead.
fire.
Before that, let me ask you a question about Chuck. I've got several questions, but I'm gonna go with the oyster in the vending machine part. Did y'all hear about that guy in Maine who tried to pave his driveway with a bunch of old clamshells?
No.
What? No.
It makes sense locationally.
So he evidently didn't clean it, and despite the fact that his neighbors told him, like, hey, you can't do that, that those aren't clean, he didn't listen to him. And it was like days or weeks later, he just had this infestation of crows and maggots and awful smell all down the street.
Oh my god.
No.
Ugh.
That's gross as
Yeah.
fuck.
Now
Fucking
I
people,
think
dude.
we've properly set up your Craigslist site.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
okay,
keep
then
that
we'll
look
see.
on your faces, because you're...
We'll do 2 here. Wait, screw it. We're gonna do 1 because I got quick. So this one's in Florida. I'll save some for next week because with everything that's going on in Florida, there's been some really fucked up Craigslist posts. This is probably my favorite one though. Short, sweet, simple. It's in Parkland, Florida. It's a picture of Parkland Golf and Country Club. and just, hey, does any girl live here? That's it.
Oh my
There's a girl
god,
live here.
that's kind of amazing. Can that be our like motto? Can we just have that on the website, like in a
Hey!
banner?
That's how I'm in a relationship that I love being in, but I'm kind of hoping to be single just so I can try it out. Stand outside somebody's house. Hey!
Any girl live here? So, Jesus, that's so crazy. Just take
I
a
love that.
panorama photo of each street and go down a street one at a time, posting.
Jordan, will you send me a link to that?
So, gentlemen, I think we got some crimes to solve. Are y'all willing to take a trip to CSILA? T?
Again with the puns.
I think
Can't
Jordan.
stop.
All right,
Can't
all right,
stop.
Jack, Jordan. Jack, you get those Daisy Dukes on. Jordan, I don't know what you're wearing. It doesn't really matter, but I got my cop Halloween costume on, and we're ready.
Well, your team
The
received
station
call.
didn't. What's up?
Oh, no, go on.
Well, I was gonna say the station. So last time I decided I wanted to pursue my career as a cop. I'm bringing Jack along with me. He was there for the last event, and Jordan, of course, he's there. So the station has not paid for a uniform for me yet, so I'm just running around in that sexy Halloween cop costume.
Oh, see,
And,
I wear a leather jacket and just tell people I'm too old.
Where
2
we
days
at,
from retirement. 2 days from retirement.
The next 10 years.
Yeah. It's old. 2 days from retirement, Jordan
I keep on saying that all the time, just hoping I get shot. The ultimate suicide.
So you actually take a trip overseas. You are now in Sentosa Cove, which if I did my research, I could tell you it's somewhere in China, but not quite sure where. You
Jordan,
arrive on
what?
scene. What?
Jordan, where is the beach, Jack? You told me we were going on a vacation to Sentosa Cove, and I think we're in the Chiners right now.
Yeah, Sentosa Cove. That's right next to Sentosa Not Cove.
Don't know the rest of it.
I still don't know what you're saying. Maybe it was my fault. Maybe I misheard
You know what? Quit, I'm 2 days from retirement. Quit with this shit.
You arrive to the scene off of the beach there, where allegedly a vehicle had just, involved in a police chase, drove straight through a gate, drove itself right off the pier, splashed directly into the drink. And as you arrive on scene, you see work crews trying to retrieve the vehicle from the water, but you also see a salty captain from a local ship who had dove down into the water, breaking the window of this vehicle with a rock to rescue the driver and pulling him up from the sea and swimming back onto the land.
Yes, I think I figured out two problems. The first is that you cannot have your retirement trip before you're retired, which is why this is a work trip. I'm on to you, Jordan. I'm on to you. And there is a crime over there. I don't know if it's malicious or not, but some car is in. Is that a stream? What do they call it in the Chiners?
The what?
The drink.
The drink.
The drink.
Well, no.
I like the drink.
A salty sea captain jumped down into the water to save these people. We all know his name was Popeye, and he didn't wait 20 minutes after eating his spinach.
Oh no,
Boom,
cramps.
Mike, drop!
Jordan, I think I'm gonna be sad when you retire because we could have made a perfect team. You are far more help than Jack's been to me.
Let's go solve it.
Gentlemen, I smell a crime.
Jack, you go first. I need to check out your Daisy Dukes as we go over there.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
I hate being on assignment with you, but I love having you lead. As you approach the rescuer and rescuee, they pull him up. He's got the trauma towel around him, and, you go and talk to him, and he announces that he's very sorry he didn't mean to lead the police on this crazy chase, but a mermaid told him that he had to drive into the sea.
Solved.
Guys,
What the
I found a new case. We need to go find a mermaid. Also, Jack, can you do... Jordan, are you ready for retirement? Can you do paperwork on the last case and just put, like, mermaid, like, siren songed this poor man. And now, Jack, you and I, let's go find a mermaid.
I got pictures of Jack in a shiny dress. I can Photoshop and just say the case is over.
Jack,
hey, Jordan, when you're done, be sure to file this one under the sea. Under the sea. Under the sea.
Wait. Oh, okay. We've been the pun masters tonight. I can't drop the ball.
Join us next week when
with more
when Officer Matt convinces Jack to take off his I don't know what he's wearing. I know he's got on Daisy Dukes, but he's going in just with Daisy Dukes into that water to look for a mermaid.
Ready for this?
He has isolated Jack as well. I mean, you can imagine how this story is going to go.
I feel
so
so
Jack's
used.
search for Ariel continues in the next exciting installment of CSI LAT.
Is this how I got into this position without having any prior knowledge or experience?
I was going to say...
Just the Daisy Dukes?
Hey, see, Chuck, you just ruined it. You said Ariel. I was going to go... Now I'm going to say
Ariel?
Sadly. Yeah.
Say it sadly.
I was just... He thought he was going to get some titty. You know, some areola.
There you go. Oh, when you book her, it's like, look at this stuff. Isn't this neat? What do you call it? Handcuffs.
He wanted to show her his cock nest monster.
Ooh. You know, I guess
become
we're
a pun podcast.
Okay. Come on.
podcast.
All right.
Yeah, that's low hanging fruit. I mean, that's
I know.
Yeah, just like in Thailand.
we're lazy
It's
fucks.
so low.
Get the
So,
fuck
gents,
out.
there's so many more stories I want to go over this week, but I think we're running long for time. Do any of y'all have any wins or links you'd like to share? Any experiences that happened this week that actually don't make you miserable to live on Earth? I didn't think there were any takers.
I got a lot of whiskey today.
So I do have some. If no one else has one ready, let's see. What do I want to go with? Right now, I was gonna say something about the hurricane in Florida. The fact that it only hit at a Category 3, it's dampening. However, it looks like Jose is about to do a roundabout, and they might be hit with the second hurricane.
Oh shit!
That I found that news out about 2 hours ago. So that's not a win. However, what is a win
It's a high win.
is the fact that I finally got the Luciturn website to a point where it might almost be presentable.
Hey.
And so in time for our launch, we now have a public facing hub that will link to our Facebook, Twitter, our RSS feeds, and
Reddit,
our
and-
new Reddit page that I was able to create as
Yeah.
well. So, guys, check us out over there if you enjoyed our show, or even if you didn't, because we're definitely going to get better.
Website is pornhub.com. That's our website.
That's right. That's right. I actually do have a win.
Luciturn.com, guys.
I'll announce all that.
We
towards the
should
end.
give a name out. Okay.
I'll announce all the how to contact us at the end here.
Awesome.
I do have a win. Something that I came across the other night. I had a hard time with Fallout. Like, I love the Fallout franchise, and so I know this is late because Fallout 4 has been out for fucking like 2 years now. But I recently got back into playing it, and I'm really enjoying my experience, and it's fun and fantastic, and I've got my little PS Vita, and the controls for it are amazing, so I can lay in bed and not sleep and just keep shooting raiders. But sometimes I do have to sleep, or sometimes I have to drive and not be at home next to my PS4, and I stumbled across this website, mindfog.com, which is a radio drama in the Fallout 4 universe, and it is very, very well done. It's a single man project. When you go to the site, it is all done from the perspective of the actual player character. So the author doesn't really mention himself or who he is on the website at all.
Oh.
All the blog posts and updates are done from the perspective of the sole survivor. He's 22 episodes in, and he does have a Patreon. The only thing I'm a little worried about, and I was going to reach out for comment from him, but I didn't because I'm bad at canceling things I subscribe for, much less actually reaching out to people. The last update was 2 months ago, but that seems to be the amount of time it takes for him to do another update because this is, a very lengthy project. So I'm hoping it's not defunct. So maybe go over there, head that way if you care for radio dramas, want something fun to listen to, in the car. Give it a listen. Mindfog.com. It's available on Google Play and a bunch of other places as well. It's a Fallout diary, and it's super good. It's helped me get to sleep and do chores and just have a fantastic time. He's really
That's awesome.
I'd say go over there and give him some love and support and keep him up so he doesn't lose his steam because it's good.
It's really great. I have to check that out.
That it.
Jordan, you got anything?
I
I
gotta get going.
Okay.
I don't have anything.
Well, I want to say happy birthday to Jordan. He was kind enough to take the time out to record with us today, even though he's late for his own birthday. He's going to be late to his funeral after that, too. I want to say happy birthday to Mr. Jack Mullins. His birthday should be here on Wednesday.
Jack, let's kiss the camera together.
Yeah, y'all love. Aww. Y'all so cute. Matt, I want to say thank you for joining us today. You're a badass. And for anyone who's actually listening and paying attention to this, thanks. We appreciate the support. If you have any awful articles or Craigslist posts that you'd like to submit to us, you can reach us at loseaturn.com, facebook.com/loseaturnpodcast, Twitter, we're at loseaturnradio. We have a real hard time with name consistency. If you want to reach us, see us on YouTube or use youtube.com/loseaturntv. And if you want to email us, currently the best place to email us is going to be the Gmail account, which is loseaturn@gmail.com. We do have private accounts. If you want to reach out, you can reach to us at Chuck at Loseaturn, Jack at Loseaturn, Matt at Loseaturn, Jordan at Loseaturn. But
or just find us on our Reddit page.
And you can find all this information on the website or the Reddit page.
And that is r/Loseaturn.
And if you ever see any of us out in public, we'll give you 50% off on signatures if you bring us a stock family photo.
Absolutely.
The ones mostly mixed race gets better signatures.
If you can find a stock photo of a mermaid,
Matt looks horrified
you get
for a second
75% off.
there.
Guys, they don't want my signature. It will always look like a murder scene.
Well, and it's
chances
also
are
you coming into a sock and slapping it against things, Matt.
Looks better. That's my new method. All right.
Thanks to Equifax, everyone already has all of our signatures. Yeah. So, from Loseaturn,
what you'll be getting from me now is DNA.
Well, we love you guys. Thanks for listening. Until next week. Peace.
Sooner or later, the dice land on the table,